Hey y'all, it's me. I have not been up to the graveyard yet to fix the flowers, but I've been really busy and it's late. It's going on 7:30 here. And I thought, you know what, I haven't talked to my buddies in a while. And I'm just going to walk around with you and show you some of the things. You'll see them on Aaron's video, some of the things he's been doing. But I want to share with you as well. Let me turn you around. You see my buddies. Over there's Ferdinand showing off. The geese I think they're heading home. Little chickens. I'm real excited about what's going on here. I've shown y'all the compost bin. And do you hear him rattling? That's so funny when he starts shaking his tail feathers. I wonder if that's where that saying came from. From a peacock. Shaking their tail feathers. And over there's Isabella. I don't know what she's looking for. But that's it. Hold on a minute. Let me close the fence. All right. Let's walk up this way this time. Now that you guys be quiet, noisy ones. Now that they're getting stakes in the ground, you'll be able to see what we've been talking about a little easier. And they've already got wire on it. Look at that. How cool. Yay. So there. We've got fence. That fence will soon have chicken wire on it to keep the birds on this side. Hot dog. Yay. That's something, it's a big job I've got. I'm the chicken wire person. So the chicken fence will be all of this inside where the compost bin is. Of course, the chicken house. And this bottom side of the dog lot. Hey guys. Let them be their little noisy self for a moment. And then it will be all the way over there on the other side of the pond. And that pond will be bigger. I know I've told you all this. I just keep repeating myself. I know they're noisy, guys. I'm sorry. And the guineas will be joining them. Speaking of guineas, I'll take you guys in and show you them in a minute. Come here. If you're going to come over here, you're going to have to let me pet you. If you're going to come over here, you're going to have to let me pet you. Yes, I know. Such a good darling. No, you can't bite me. That's not okay. They're so funny. I love my birds. All right, and I still hear Ferdinand from way back behind me. Man, he's loud. All right. Aaron and Corey and Aiden have just worked themselves silly this week. Taking off all this scrap metal. And guys, that makes me extraordinarily happy. I love it. I love it. I love it. The only thing that has stayed is just a couple pieces of metal right in there. And that old Jeep truck, they have some things they're wanting to take off of it. I think the transmission in it is a valuable piece to one of them. Always something. And the wood has been sorted and piled. That pile up there. Let me see if I can point to it. That pile is firewood. That pile way up there is a burn pile. And then these piles down here will be sawed up. I think that pile over there behind the sawmill is actually firewood too or something. They look pretty small. I don't know. And then there's some bigger ones right here that will be sawn up. Some of them belong to neighbors. Some of them are ours. And we're hoping to add to them real soon as the boys have a chance to go after more logs over in Candler, the lumber yard. But that's just a happy view right there. This spot has always just bugged the pea jubers out of me. I hated all that metal laying around. And now Aaron will put his rock rake on his vehicle and come through here and rake up all these little scraps of wood. And we'll get them all gathered up. And the rocks too. Get them all gathered up and put them in the spot that they need to go in. There's kitty kitty. Hi, darling. Kitty kitty kitty. Hi, darling. I know. That's sweet baby. Yes. That's sweet baby. All right. I want to take you over and show you the garden and what's happening over there right now. It's coming along nicely. I looked at my calendar the other day and realized that I actually went the reverse of what I did last year. Last year I set everything out really, really late. This year it seems that a lot of what I did was really, really early. Okay, let's go count geese. If they're all in here, I'm going to go ahead and close them up for the night. It looks like they may be, I hope. And see this whole fence right here, when we get the permanent bird fence in, that one will go away and I won't have to worry about making sure the geese are closed in because they'll always be in. They'll always be contained. All right, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I'm missing one. Let's go see if she's on the nest. There's the little mallards. They're sweet babies too. Not nearly as noisy though. They're just not nearly as noisy. There she is. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They're all in here. Yay. Very nice. All right. I can close them up and they're finished for the night. We have to wait to come close the chickens up after it's black dark because they will not go into roost until it is totally pitch black. And if you come out any earlier than that, I guarantee the next morning you'll realize that one was roosting on a car tire or something. I'll be glad when this fence goes down. All right. And I'm sorry if I keep repeating everything. There's not really a whole lot of new anything happening here. It's just a whole lot of the same, but well, there is a lot of new, but on my end, there's not a whole lot of new. It's just a matter of taking care of plants and taking care of critters. That's the story of my life. And believe me, I am not complaining. Those are two things that make me very happy. Look at him. What a beautiful bird. Where are you guys all going? The chicken has a shell and they're chasing her. There you go. Nice, nice. Now listen, I'm getting ready to open this here gate. Is that going to bother you? Do you mind going for the ride? Do you mind going for the ride? Yeah, he says I don't want to ride. Yeah. I was trying to keep the camera trained on him and open the gate at the same time. I wasn't very successful. All right. Hold on. Give me a minute. All right. Now, And you can see I've got a big job going on. Even though we don't have the chickens completely closed off yet, I got really excited because I knew that soon I get my porch back. So I've been dragging everything off the porch. And yes, the porch is missing railings and everything, but all of that's getting replaced. The kitty cat house is going to be rebuilt down in one of these corners. I brought all of my plant starting, all my pots, everything down here off of the shelf up there. And tomorrow, I'm finished pulling everything off of there and power wash it. And I'm hoping that the only thing that ends up going back on will just be the smoker, the grill, and my 3 pieces of patio furniture. And that will be also a happy moment. And I think we're going to do a little bit of cleaning up here tomorrow. Miss Corey and I are. She's been real excited about the possibility of repairing these rock walls. And at one point I had thought, you know what, I'm just going to tear them out. But they really are very pretty. And they're just very old, and the cement is crumbling. And where they've been ran over on the corners, I'm sure, with different vehicles. They're just coming apart. So you can see they're pretty. They all want to be cleaned out. And my plan, guys and girls, was just to do rhododendron and azaleas and easy things in these gardens because I don't want to have to deal with flower beds. And Miss Corey said, would you mind if I grew flowers in them? I said, honey, I don't mind at all if you want to take care of them. So Miss Corey is going to take care of the flower beds this year. And I'm happy for her to do that. I love a beautiful flower bed myself. I just know that I don't have enough energy to do everything over here and everything up there, along with the critters and the boys. The boys are a lot of work, and just lots of things happening. There comes my Aiden.
What a pretty night.
Yes, it is.
Oh my Lord, the sunset's gorgeous.
You're on video.
I'm in pajamas.
Well, you're on video in your pajamas.
That makes me look productive, don't it?
Huh?
I said that makes me look productive, don't it?
It's 8 o'clock at night. Production time is over. Huh?
7:30, 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, it's late. All right.
It feels like it's about 6:30.
I know. There's my beautiful barn. And let me show you what's going on. I think you've been with us as we've been planting these things. Tomorrow I'm going to uncover them and just take care of a little bit of weeding. Of course, in here, let me see if I can just stick this camera through the hole. In here is the asparagus. And they seem to be doing pretty good. And the only time I've covered... Yay! I've uncovered them very briefly just to give them a drink. And then let me see if I can find a spot in through here with... sorry guys, I'm shaking all pieces. Well, there's the sugar snap peas. And they're doing good. Let me put my little cloth back under there. I'll fix it in a minute. But I found out something about the black stuff. I found out that I'm too old-fashioned. I'm very, very on top of building the soil. But I'm too old-fashioned to deal with the plastic. I just finally told Aaron, you know what? You and Pops use that black stuff for the beans and for the pumpkins. But down here, just give me a hoe. Because once these beds are cleared over and I take my little hoop hoe, it takes about 15-20 minutes. You have to do it daily. And tomorrow I'll have to uncover them. But it takes just so little time with the hoop hoe just to pop them off at the ground level. And this right here is snaps, snapdragons, and way down yonder is dill. And I'll come back through and close everything up in a minute. And then up here, that's a whole bed of yodfa and what is the other kind of, I can't remember, but they're broccolis. They're the tall, skinny broccolis I was telling you about. Rapini, that's the other name. Yodfa and rapini broccoli. That's a pretty big bed of those. And they grow tall and skinny. It's not a bunching broccoli. It's a tall, skinny broccoli that will actually develop a little crown right at the very top. And it looks more like an asparagus. And supposed to taste more like an asparagus. I grew just a few last year. And Hugh ate them raw. We never did cook them. But when he would go outside, he would get him some. And that whole bed, all the way down, is cabbage, and they look really good. The cabbages I'm going to keep covered over. I think I've told y'all, just to keep them away from the little cabbage moths. Hopefully they don't have a chance, they won't find them. Let me see right here, maybe we'll get another back view of the dill. The dill's so fine it's hard to see it, but it is doing okay in there. All right, and then down here we did not cover over the onions. We've got a bunch of bulb onions, and then we've also we have a bunch of little onion plants. They're looking kind of sad, but maybe they'll be all right. Maybe they'll be all right. We'll see. If they survive, it's called a Walla Walla sweet onion. We'll see what they do. But see, as soon as the geese and the ducks and the chickens are all contained inside the great big duck yard or bird yard, when it's time to put out the warm weather plants in these gardens, I will not have to cover them over. I will have to harden my plants off, and which will take 3 or 4 days of putting them outside every day for a couple of hours, a little bit longer every day, until they're just ready to withstand the sunshine. Sometimes the wind is the bigger thing, and the weather fluctuations, but they'll be fully prepared before I put them out here, and I won't have to worry about birds eating them. That's the big thing. So anyway, all right, I don't have a whole lot of plants left on the porch. I have a few more sugar snap peas I was going to go ahead and put in this same bed, but everybody's been so busy I haven't had anybody stop long enough to burn the holes through the black plastic. So I believe tomorrow I'm just going to roll that black plastic back and go ahead and just plant them without the black plastic. And yeah, I know, I'm just an old fart. I like dirt. I don't like plastic. And it just doesn't look pretty. It's just yucky. So anyway, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. I know that there's some of you out here that will absolutely agree with me, girls and guys. All my gardening buddies, I don't know. There's something about the plastic. But hopefully tomorrow all this stuff will be going away. Corey can plant her little garden. Get rid of the wood, and the problem's going to be the geese eggs, because there's tons right there. I know you can't see them. And there's tons back there in that corner. They actually dug big holes and filled them full, and then they covered them over. But I never really see them sitting there anymore. And I know Hugh keeps giving them the goose eggs away, so they may just kind of have abandoned this up here. I'm not sure. My sister-in-law made that many, many years ago. It's when this house was built. That's sweet. And so this is all that's left. It's just these few trays right here. I've got some lettuce and spinach and some, what all do I have up here? Some more snaps and some straw flowers. The rest of the peas that need to go out. Some celery. And these two trays didn't do well at all. And I'm not sure what's in these few little ones. I'll go ahead and stick them in the ground because I'm nosy. I can't remember. So it's time to water them this evening. And then I've been uncovering pots to put all of these African violets in. Yes, the African violets. And these African violets are doing really, really, really well. So, yay. All right, now, the wood pile hopefully won't have to be bothered much the rest of this year. There's another kitty cat out there. Hey, kitty, kitty. No, you cannot come in. I'm sorry. 2 kitty cats. All right, here he's watching MASH. I'm going to take you through. There's Aiden sitting there in his jammies. Say hey. That's it. There's Aiden sitting there in his jammies. There's Pop sitting there watching MASH. And Nala. And Kaiser turned 8 years old a couple days ago. And Bodie. Bodie's old. And Mimi. Treat baby? Okay. And there's Mika. She's really struggling. Really, really struggling. Hurts my heart. And then I have 2 more somewhere. There's one. Yeah, there's Noble. And Bela must be in there behind Aiden's chair. And let me take you in here. Now this is going to gross some of you totally out. And if it does, I apologize. But this is as it needed to be. The little Keats had to come upstairs. Because the kitty cats were laying on top of this heavy built lid that Aaron built. So I wasn't worried about them getting to them at all. Let me see. Might have to just look through. Yeah, there we go. They're scattering. But the kitty cats were scaring them so badly that they were actually running into their water and keeping their water emptied out. So I said, no, I'm not going to have them terrorized. So I just put a towel on my table. And Aaron helped me carry the tub upstairs today. And so we've got them set up in here now. And I keep their little bedding changed so they don't smell. But they are darling. There's just 4 of them. And Chelsea came up today. She can't stand the smell, or not the smell. She can't stand the sound they make because any of you that are around guinea fowl realize that they actually make a very squeaky gatepost sound. And if you listen closely, they make that even when they're teeny tiny. It's funny. I don't understand it. I do not. I hear one of Aaron's pups howling. All right. Let's go in here and sit down for just a minute. I'm very, very tired today. Turn you around and talk to you a bit. I can never figure out where to look on this camera. I think that corner. So I'm going to look at that corner and hope that I'm looking at you. But anyway, it's I think spring's on us. I think spring has sprung, and that's a good thing. That makes me happy. I know some of you that live up in the Northeast and across the far North Midwest area. I know it doesn't feel like that to some of you that are still, dealing with snow and ice and all that. And we're not necessarily over it. It's just, gosh, it won't be April until Saturday. And so it seems, I'm going to turn you around so that I know. There we go. Now I know where to look because I'm looking at the little, whatever they're called. You can tell I'm tired. But anyway, yeah, it's been so warm here this week that I hope we're not just being lulled into a false sense of security. So I am going to be careful not to start the rest of my plants too early because I don't want to have to put anything else under the cover. I will, if I need to. But that's a lot of work, trying to keep those things weighted down. And of course, you can see that, we've had such horrific wind, that those sheets are kind of tattered, that lightweight row cover. And that frustrates me because I like to be able to use something several years. I will take full blame for, though, allowing it to happen, because what I did the last time I used the row covers, I had taken old the plastic grocery store sacks, and had filled them with dirt. And so I made myself some little sandbags, and that's what I used to weight everything down with. It worked perfect. There was no sharp edges. It was easy to move off and on, and it works really, really well as a weight for the row cover. The wood and the blocks will do a fine job, but they're so sharp edged that when the wind blows, it just slices the fabric. So I'll prepare a little better before we plant anything else this season. And I guess that's about all I have to share, guys. There's not a lot of exciting things going. I saw a doggy. I'm sorry, caught my attention. Squirrel. But not a lot of exciting things happening unless you're a gardener, and then it's very, very exciting, very, very tiring, and all of that sort of thing. But I'm just poking along, and I hope that y'all are poking along well, and that everybody's recovering from all this horrendous weather that we've had this early spring and late winter. And I know some of y'all had some pretty significant illnesses happening in your families. I hope everyone is recovering, and I don't really have too much to add to that other than you're loved. And hopefully within the next week or so, you can go with me up to the graveyard, and hopefully that little vine's beginning to put out some leaves, and we can see if it is what did we decide it was? I don't remember. We had came up with some kind of a decision about it, and we'll follow its progress this spring and see how it's doing. But I need to change the flowers on the grapes. I don't know how y'all and we've talked about the flowers on the graves, but I forget about them. And I really need to put them on my calendar so that I'll remember them in a timely fashion, because it just, it's embarrassing to me that it still has really Christmas flowers. And here we are almost in April. So I've got to get some spring flowers on those graves. And I'd rather, not even put flowers on them myself, because I think the gravestones are pretty without being adorned. It's not, to me, it's not something that honors their memory. I know that some people feel very strongly about grave flowers. My parents did, and my in-law parents did. That's the reason we do this. We've already told our children, don't do that. If you want to go and visit the grave every now and then, that's totally up to you. I mean, we're not there. So if that's something that you need, then absolutely. But I think that memories don't have to be relived at a graveyard. They're in our hearts and our minds. And so, but I have some weird ideas. I just do. Y'all have figured that out by now. But anyway, I'm going to sign off and go eat some green beans and cornbread. I think that's what I saw Hugh made dinner tonight. So green beans and cornbread and an onion. Simple dinner, but I'll put some butter on that cornbread and pour myself a glass of milk, and it will be yummy. All right. Y'all are loved, and I'm hoping that I get to spend a little more time visiting with you. And if any of y'all have any specific ideas, because I'm telling you, I don't really know how to shake this up. Aaron's doing something new and fresh and different all the time. So his videos have something interesting and different happening all the time. I just don't have anything new and different happening. But I can take you down to the garden and have you watch me put stuff in the ground, and I really don't want to do that. I'd rather take you along with me after it's planted and show you the results and what it's doing. That's what excites me. But if y'all have any suggestions and ideas that you'd like for us to share together, let me know. And if I can get Hugh to slow down long enough so that he's rested one evening, we'll do a live pretty soon coming up, and he can let you know what ideas he's spinning and what's going on in his heart and mind. But anyway, y'all are loved, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.